So this is my 95 D21 Nissan Hardbody pickup, whatever you want to call it. I bought it 5-6 years ago, had 270,000 miles on it, and I put 20,000 more. So she's got just under 300,000. I think 297 is what she's at now. For starters, go ahead and give you the numbers. She makes 253 horsepower and 311 foot-pounds of torque at I want to say like 4,200 RPM on a Mustang dyno. So you could inflate those numbers a tiny bit. You know, people say Mustang dyno is rated a little low, so, but we'll just say she makes 250 and 300 foot-pounds of torque. So it's obviously a drastic change from what it was, and I can't honestly be more thrilled about it. And I can officially say it was worth every single penny. All right, so we'll start with the exterior mods real quick, just bust all that out, and then we'll get to the engine, and then I'll do interior afterwards. And suspension I'll throw in there real quick too. So exterior mods I have a mod shop tailgate wing. I love it. It came with all the brackets and everything. They're a little rusty now, but yeah, it was a perfect fit. I love the angles on it. This does come a little bit higher. I had them bend it to a slightly different angle for what I wanted, but nevertheless, that looks great on there with the stock bumper. I will take that off for a roll paint eventually when I go to paint it. LED tail lights, and I have the third brake light to go with it. Pretty much LED light. Every LED, Jesus Christ, every light on the truck is LED. So tail lights, license plate lights, their brake light will be, all the front lights are. So yeah, yeah, I have clear corners and bumper markers up front. Go ahead and show you those real quick. Got the 97 front bumper with no caps on it. The other earlier years have caps on the ends, and they come off and they're hideous. 97 bumper, if you can find it, bee's knees. The 86 hood with the vents in it, gonna cut the vents out, make them functional hood vents. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, for the exterior, we'll do wheels are level 8, 17x9, 0 offsets, wrapped in 205 40 17s. Don't really like the small mini truck look. I mean, it's cool and all, but I wanted some bigger wheels in that. Plus these tires are pretty cheap. I do run Achilles, but they're running like $40 a tire right now. Suspension, I have stock leaf springs. They are relocated in the perch, so they're drilled up an inch. Then I have 3-inch blocks on the back. I will put 4-inch blocks on there when I put my new rear end in, and I'll talk to you about that before the end of the video. But yep, so it's basically lowered 4 inches in the back. You know, probably 4 or 5 up front. I have 2-inch drop spindles, and then torsion bars are cranked down a little bit. All stock suspension or steering components up front. Unfortunately, it is a little sketchy to drive, so I have to do some changes to that, and we'll also talk about that later. But yeah, I've got the Beltec Street Performance shocks on there. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're worth it in my opinion. And I do have all the bump stops removed, and I don't have it C-notch, so it does smack frame a little bit sometimes, but you know what, fuck it. Inside, so inside we obviously have this beautiful NRG Prisma Ultra. Love this damn thing. It's got little foam pockets in it. All these come out. This is a large, so I'm 6'1", about 160, and I fit great in it. And because I got a Plenum technology seat bracket, because I keep seeing everybody with their door panels off, and they gotta, you know, either don't have a door panel on their truck when they got bucket seats, or they got one of those metal or aluminum ones. I don't want all that. I want stock interior or otherwise. Well, not stock interior, but you know what I mean. I don't want all that shit. So stock door panel, and that I do that. I was able to do that because I have a Plenum technology seat bracket. Super heavy duty construction itself, and it comes with a bunch of different holes on it, so you don't have to mount it like right in the one spot that, you know, that was made to put the seat. You have multiple options. I have an AEM wideband air fuel gauge, NRG quick release hub. That's for the 240, but it works for the D21. And on the other side, I got boost and oil pressure gauges. Those are cheap gauges, but you know, they don't need to be anything crazy. With mounted inside the dash with a plate I made. Also made this plate for the tonneau cover because the big boot was bothering me. This is a 240SX S13 short shifter. Basically took the kit, put everything inside the D21 trans, and instead of having that long shifter that comes out to here, I have a little stick. And the Nismo shift knob is obviously not real. I got it off Etsy, but it looks cool. And it weighs okay too. So that's a center console I got out of I want to say a late 80s Frontier, or no, I'm sorry, Jesus, what's wrong with me? It came out of an earlier D21 King Cab, and all I did was paint it and put some fabric on top of it. I've got a Rockville 12-inch amp sub combo. It's one of the main things that I was able to fit in here was behind the bench when I had it in here. But now it looks even better. And but yeah, it does fit behind the stock bench in the single cab. So if you guys are looking for a subwoofer, hit up Rockville. They got some good shit. It isn't the deepest sound, but obviously look how thin it is. I wouldn't expect anything crazy out of it, but it sounds great for what it is. So computer-wise, Mega Squirt from DIY Auto-Tune. This is a Mega Squirt plug-and-play. It's for the D21. I basically went ahead and did all of the things that were recommended with my engine and in association with this, and I'll show you that shit under the hood. You can see the map sensors hooked into it. I've got my tuning cable running up into the glove box here. See it in there. Oh look, bang, drink. But yeah, so yeah, pretty much it for the inside. I do have another bucket to put in here, just haven't got the other bracket for it yet. Oh, and my belt that I have is I believe the company's called Westco Performance, but you can see it's a 3-point non-adjusting harness, and I've got like the go-kart style belts on it, so it looks pretty cool. Oh, whatever, I can't get it through the seat right now, but anyways, second moment you've been waiting for. There she is, boys and girls. So you can see I've obviously got a lot going on under here, and I'll try to hit everything. If you see something I missed, please don't hesitate to tell me, and I'll go back and revisit that next time. But so we'll start with the engine. All stock internals. It's all Nissan OEM internals. It wasn't the 300,000 mile motor. I took it all out and had it rebuilt, had everything reconditioned, gone through, checked, made sure it was in spec. Anything replaced that needed to be replaced, but it was mainly just hone, crank, polish and balance, new bearings, rods, new bearings, rings, all that stuff. So, but yeah, it all is all stock internally. I do wish I did the mechanical lifters, but that's neither here nor there. It's all stock internally. It's a KA24E from the truck. What I did is I took the 240SX from the S13. It has a different manifold, same motor. So I got the 240SX intake manifold, and what I did was I took the top plenum off and sent the lower plenum to Xccessive manufacturing. You can see the little logo there, or here. But sent it to Xccessive manufacturing. They basically took the runners out of the bottom, welded up all the holes, and then gave me this bigger upper plenum. This upper plenum is capable of so much more air volume and helps better horsepower. So yeah, I mean, it is like almost 300 bucks, but it's pretty worth it in my opinion. It takes away from some of the torque down low. Yep. But 240SX lower manifold, Xccessive manufacturing upper plenum, stock S13 fuel rail here. These are 450cc AUS injectors. The company is really awesome. Customer service is good. I hit them up, and when I'm ready to go for more power, I don't even have to buy new ones. I can send these back to them, and they'll make them larger. So that's pretty cool. And then I have a ISR fuel pressure regulator in here. So we'll think about this. I talked to ISR and Juku's who I bought it from. Neither one of them could tell me whether it worked for this motor or not. Basically, this was made for the SR, and I think they had it listed for dual cam KA and every other Nissan except for S13. single cam and D21. So called them up, they couldn't tell me whether it worked. So I took a little gamble, bought it. And I mean, the one kind of reassuring factor I had was this part number for the truck, or for the S13 KAs. If I were to like go on Rock Auto, for example, the part number for the single cam KAs for the S13 was the same as the dual cam KAs for the later models, and then it was the same for the SR, yada yada. So pretty much it was like every KA from 89 to 99 had the same pressure regulator. So I figured it worked, and luckily it did. I've got that set at about 50-ish PSI. And so the injectors are flowing actually about 520, I think, something like that. But you know, whatever, it does really good for what I want. It runs stoic at, you know, cruising. It runs like 14s, mid 13s, and then under boost it's running like 12s, 12s, 13s, shit like that. So all that shit worked out good. Stock D21 harness that I chopped up. Basically, I took every 240 part that I could get my hands on and that I thought would work on here, and I put it on here. So I got the 240SX, Plenum, and lower manifold. So you can see down there, I've got an ASP S13 KA24E crank pulley. It's a lightweight crank pulley, and it works a lot better than I thought it was. I know a lot of people are going to try and fuss me and probably tell me I should get a super damper, but whatever. That worked out great, along with the lightweight other pulleys I have in here, like the this is a P2M kit. I have it for the water pump and then for the alternator. Then I do have one for the power steering pump, but I ruined one power steering pump trying to put it on here, and then this second one is the bearings are shot. So maybe when I put the third one on, I'll try and put it on. Turbo's hot side. I've got ISR 50 trim turbo. I originally had a really cheap Chinese turbo on here from eBay, and it was a max speeding rods turbo, but I felt a little bit better spending a little bit more money on this ISR 50 trim. It's 50. The AR up front is 50 and the back is 63. So I guess people call it a 5063. I don't really know, but I've got that sitting on a cast log manifold. Pardon the nasty look on it, but it burnt up a plug wire when it was on dyno. But yep, and then I have a Turbo Smart Ultra Gate 38mm wastegate, 7-pound spring in it. Got it pressing a little bit more than that, but I'll see if I can get my GoPro down there. Yeah, you can probably see it, maybe. I don't want to melt my fucking GoPro. But yeah, so I got that on there. I do have that hooked up to my boost controller over here. So I've got it set to 15 PSI. Yeah, people might be a little scared of it, you know, running 15 PSI on stock internals, but I'm gonna see how long she does. And my tuner assured me she will be good for, I can pretty much beat on her endlessly. So I'll find out. But I took it to Millennium Racing Development over here in Portsmouth, Virginia. Guys are really cool, and worked on it really quickly for me to help me get it done while I was away, and I came back, picked it up, and everything was awesome. So I appreciate Millennium Racing Development and Greg Greaser. Greaser is one specifically as a tuner, but Gray is the owner, and appreciate those guys for doing that. Yeah, I got a little, that's a cheap little dump pipe. It's like 25 bucks, but I just haven't made one longer, but it does go down to the ground, so that's all I really need. Intercooler piping kit came from a Civic it's a Civic intercooler piping kit off eBay. It was black, all black, so I got the black intercooler here. You can't really see it behind the grill, which is what I wanted. But yeah, got basically chopped up the Civic intercooler piping and put them to angles that I wanted. And so I've got that one is real short, goes right from there to there, and then this one makes a hard U down at the bottom, but she's beautiful. You can't see everything up top, which is what I wanted. I mean, look at that. Looks beautiful. So this is not my only replica part left on it is this fake HKS blow off valve, but it works and it sounds cool. Cheap, Amazon, eBay, coolant overflow tank. It was like 20-25 bucks. Worked great. It has the one port on it, which is all I wanted. This battery tray, another cheap cool item I found. It was like 40 bucks. It's for Optima yellow top, so I found some of this rod and I just cut some longer pieces, or all thread is what it's called, but found some more all thread, cut into length, and made it work for my Civic battery, because originally I was worried about space in here, but once I put this battery tray in here, I pretty much trimmed out the back and slid it in there, bolted it in, and I didn't have that issue anymore. So yeah, I do have an oil sandwich plate down there that runs my oil turbo feed and my oil pressure gauge and all that good stuff. I highly recommend this to you guys. Only use Nissan filters. I used to work at Nissan, and the foreman there has told me hundreds of stories about, you know, what happens when you don't use the correct filters on these things. So, but I've almost hit everything in here, I believe. So this catch can, when I had it originally hooked up, I didn't have it hooked up right, and I was pressurizing the crankcase. And I haven't really worried about, you know, putting filters on here and doing all this other shit, just because I've been wanting to enjoy it a little bit, put some miles on it, and you know what, honestly, it works great the way it is, so why mess with a good thing? I will put a filter on that and hook the other hose up to something, but it's pretty much just, you know, venting the atmosphere right now, which is fine with me. Oh, one more thing, fuel / engine related. Also, I might cut this in real quick because I did forget. I told you I was going to show you guys the things that I hooked in line with the Mega Squirt and things that allowed me to use the Mega Squirt more efficiently. So the first thing I did was I got this GM intake air temperature sensor from DIY Auto Tune. They send you the bung and everything. Got that done, wired into the stock harness to where the intake air temperature sensor goes. Luckily mine did come with it. If yours doesn't, then they tell you how to do it to the mass airflow sensor. But intake air temperature sensor, and then I also have a map sensor. That's how this runs off a 3-bar map that's internal inside the Mega Squirt. Oh, inside the distributor I have a improved trigger wheel, so it basically allows for more precise tuning, or more precise timing while you're tuning. And the last thing I got from the Auto Tune was this little guy, or Amp EF5. They're the same company, but it's a little boost controller they have. And yeah, so that's what I use to run 15 pounds. So but yeah, so I don't know if you caught this, I took my tank out. I have some saved video that I need to put together to put you guys, or put out for you guys, about the fuel pump and everything else. But I have an upgraded fuel pump. I bought a 255 liter per hour fuel pump from TRE Performance. And you know, it's advertised to be pretty much a Walbro, but not as loud. And I gotta say, I'm very much impressed with it. You can't even hear it, which is kind of cool. I mean, it would have been alright to have the one, but whatever. I cut this hole out because the rust was all the way from there to there. So I was, you know, originally I was gonna cut all the rust out because that's the only way to stop it, but I just stopped after I did that, and it made accessing all this easier. But I did the 255 liter per hour fuel pump in it, and then also hooked that to this relay kit. This is a I bought a relay kit from Painless Performance, and pretty much gave me everything I needed to wire that fuel pump relay kit in. And what that does is ensures that that 255 liter per hour fuel pump is always putting out what it's supposed to be putting out. It's like 13.5 volts always going to it. It's always going to put out 255 liters per hour or around there. But what you don't want is, you don't want your voltage falling off and then your fuel pump not putting as much fuel as you need, and then, you know, the rest. So yeah, but I do not have really much exhaust on it right now. It goes from the front to this leaf spring perch right here, and I mean, look, the rest is so bad you can see it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But it comes out behind the cab, so that's all I really wanted. This thing sounds gnarly, but yeah, man, I mean, I believe that's about it. that's all I can think of for right this second. But I'm gonna drop in some you know, startup footage. It's not cold because you know, I drove it up here on it obviously, but I'll also drop in some little driving around footage. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're a returning viewer, I appreciate you. If you're a new viewer, welcome to the channel, man. This is not my only vehicle I have. Also, guys, I have a G35 that's bagged, and I have a Ram too, but the Ram isn't as important. This is the main project that everybody's been drawn to. So also, I'm extremely proud of it. You know, a couple years ago, this was just something I was talking about doing, and now here we are, and I've got it done, man. This is a dream come true. I've put a lot into this. So yeah, like I said, man, if y'all are returning, if you're new, whatever the case may be, I appreciate you guys very much. And yeah, so cut the rest of the footage. So no, not gonna get too spicy with it. That's all you're gonna get for today. I got a new rear end getting ready to go in there, and steering's pretty sketchy, but I don't know if you can see it. I'm at about 300 miles so far on my break-in. So yeah, once I get done breaking the engine and clutch in, I'll dump the clutch and let her rip and all that good shit. But as you can see, I'm already spinning trying to get it into boost in second gear. Third gear I think spins too if I really get into it. Thanks again for checking out the video, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm really proud of this, and hope you guys enjoyed. See y'all soon.